Hello people, in today's video we will be making a Hero Forge D&D model of a Calderian knight. For those of you who don't know, Calderia is a city in my D&D campaign. These knights are wearing red because they are the old knights. These guys, they go by the old ways of the Calderian rule before the king died and the Lord Protector took over. The Lord Protector is not a nice guy and changed everything from the original Calderian blue, which had been there for millions of years because Calderia is a very old city, to a light blue, which they did not like. They got very, very angry. Currently just choosing a knight's helmet. Usually I go with the same one, but sometimes I find one that looks nice, it looks different, and I'm like, ooh, this one could work really well for this type of knight, like an archer. An archer wouldn't have more heavy armour, they'd have maybe more lighter armour with like a few pieces of cloth. So I usually go with this basic helmet I've got now, but sometimes it's nice to check. So yeah. Here we're just choosing more knightly clothes than the current ones they've got on. This one looks good, but it doesn't have any arm piece, so it made the knight look like too vulnerable. So you look for the other ones. This one, I don't like the shoulders on it. This one down here, that one looks about perfect. It has like cloth, it has knightly parts. Not the one I usually use, but compared to the rest, I think it works the best. So, and then we go in chest plate so you can look at the better options. Nothing here that I really like, nothing here that's really working. I'll try this one. They both make his body look all out of proportion. So I'm going to search up for knights, and it always has one that's good, and I usually use this clothed one since it allows to show the colour of the cloth, which is really helpful, just like the shoulder pieces. Here we're just looking for some trousers for this knight. You see these ones here? These are the ones I use the most. There are other ones next to it, but they look less battle damaged. Search up knight here. Nothing I really like. These all look too thick or too limited. So I search up knight or chain even, sorry. And we have amazing chainmail, which works really well as if we search up knight and boots. Oh my gosh, I cannot spell. We have these ones, which I always love to use because I think they work quite well. Here we're just going to find this cloth red and we're going to tune it down a bit so it looks like what I call Calderian red. This is the reds that the Calderian knights use, the ones that are still using the old ways. And this grey, we believe it's called iron paint, it works amazingly. Only thing I don't like is that it's too bright and not shiny enough, so I change that in a second. Now we're just painting up the armour. I use dark greys in some areas and light greys in others to give it more of a contrast so it isn't just one solid grey block. That would look more of a statue than a knight's armour, which not quite I'm looking for at the moment. Here we're just choosing some gloves. Unfortunately, I forgot to put any on earlier. So we're checking if we can see any skin through the gloves. You can't, we take them off. Yep, that's just part of the clothing. And next thing we need to do is we change like the way he looks, like more actually looks. We're just messing around with the view of the sliders, and you can add wings. I don't think I really need to on a knight, but then we're back onto colouring. We've only used 3 colours so far, so we're just going to start colouring in the gloves, and the back parts, the parts we haven't coloured in yet. So there aren't many parts we haven't coloured in yet, but that's a lie. There are lots of parts we haven't coloured in yet, because we have only used 3 colours out of, I think, probably like, I don't know, 10 at the end. Here we're just touching up on a few of the colours that we've missed. I'm going to use this slightly lighter, I want to say brown here, because it adds a bit of contrast rather than just black, 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 black. Makes it boring. Here we're going to add some here and over there, so it looks like it's in like sewn up, sort of, I guess. Now we're adding the leather to the gloves. Leather is the best part, and of course what we need to do is we just need to go on the little cog and roughness, change up the high, down the mid, and mess with the low a little bit, and then we have the almost perfect leather. Here, this part is one of the most important, choosing a weapon and then a pose for the knight. I'm looking at these ones, they're all too dull, too blunt. So you can look around. Down here we have the really large swords. These ones are working really well, but I don't like how some of them look too futuristic. And I see this one, and I'm thinking that one looks perfect. Few things I would touch upon if I made the sword, but I didn't make the sword. So yeah, this is one of my favourite poses. When you have large swords with menacing looking characters, and we're just going to change how he's posed a bit so he can look very nice indeed. Here we are going to begin to paint the sword. Sorry, I lied. We're going to change his height because I've decided he looks a bit odd, you know. He looks a bit, he looked like he was a lot shorter than the sword, which gives a cool effect for some characters. Like one of the characters in my campaign is a really short goblin. I think it's like 2 goblins stacked on top of each other with a massive sword dressed as a Grim Reaper, and he's like one of my favourite characters, honestly. So we've coloured the entire mini so far, other than this little part here, which unfortunately I have not coloured. I'm sorry. I have lied to you all. But yeah, now we have coloured the entire mini. It looks very good, I think. And it's just onto the posing. But I feel like something's missing, so I do add a cape in the next few minutes. This is a voiceover, that's fine. Here is the just after mentioned cape. Don't like how it's bellowing in, is that the right word? I don't like how it's in the winds, so we're just going to make it more like straight, but more like a naturally straight for I don't know, a piece of fabric. Like a piece of fabric wouldn't just be like a plank of wood, it would be more flowy. And that is, I believe, other than this part here, the mini mostly done. But the back has been a bit weird, so shield looks a bit big. So we're going to go onto the side and we're going to see what we can find. So if we go on to the end and we find miscellaneous, misc. We have books. Now, I like books. And my figures, they look cool. Not quite what I'm looking for, because they clip and we do not like that, no. So what we are going to do is we're just going to scroll down until we find these things, pouches, love to see them, and potions. Potions are nice, but I do end up changing this in a second. I don't know about you, but I think that is the mini just about almost done. So I think the only thing there is left to do is maybe, I'm not sure, a little bit of posing and then the ground, or just the round. Here I've just used grey to paint the ground to give it more illusion of like dead, and I put it over the entire thing because it's mostly that. So we're just going to put this dark, rough, browny grey almost sort of around the rocks, and we're going to put this dark, almost black brown to represent mud. Here we're choosing something to put the sword in because, I don't know, it looks like it needs something. First of all, we'll find this anvil, and I think it looks good. The dimensions are stressing me out though, so I go to pose it, but soon I realise it's not going to work that easily. Here you can see the aforementioned not working. It's not right. So look for a bigger anvil. There is none. I don't know why I even bothered scrolling down. But we're going to look at rocks. You love rocks. I mean, who doesn't love rocks? I mean, even like the physical, like I play physical D&D. These are just models I make online for fun. But physical D&D DMs that actually make their terrain, they know how helpful a singular rock can be sometimes. And that's it completely finished. This is what it is now, but quick flash warning. I'm about to take a screenshot. Flash warning. Right, you can come back now. This is the model finished. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.